YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. All right, y'all, so I'm here to talk to y'all today about my health condition called rhabdomyolysis. And I want to talk to y'all today about this because I feel like it's a lot of people that's physically overworked and they don't realize it. And I don't want y'all to run into this same problem. Like, I'm all in on working hard, but do it mentally, not physically with your body, because I don't want y'all to go through what I'm currently dealing with now. So remember, I told y'all in the past videos, especially like when I was driving the trucking videos, I was telling y'all in them videos, hey, I got Rhabdo. And I told y'all I first got it back in August. When I got it in August, I didn't know what it was, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a brief, detailed description about these two times that it happened. I don't want to be too long, but long story short, back in August when I first got it, I didn't know what it was. I was just driving the truck. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was coming off my first load, and I remember putting in my AirPod, y'all. I was grabbing the AirPod, putting in my AirPod, and all I remember, it got black. Like, I damn near like blacked out while I was driving. So like, I like woke back up and I'm like, oh shit. It was like a quick second where it got black. And then after that, everything got real slow. It got super duper slow. So I'm like, oh shit, my breathing started, it got real bad. I thought I was finna be out of here. Not gonna lie, I really did. So I'm driving, y'all. I'm driving an 18-wheeler. I'm unloaded though, and I'm on the highway. Luckily, it was early in the morning, 3 o'clock, 3:30, somewhere around there, where it wasn't a lot of traffic. So I was able to swerve off and get to the outer lane to get on the feeder, you know, to stop the truck and like get out and try to catch my breath. So that's what I did. I swerved out, got off the highway, got to the feeder, and I stopped the truck. I didn't care. I stopped the truck damn near in the middle of the feeder. I didn't care. And I was just like trying to catch my breath. And then I start panicking. And I remember calling a friend, and I remember calling my brother, and both of them answered. And I was telling them, hey man, I think I'm finna be out of here. You know, I ain't gonna say the word DIE, but that's what I told both of them. I was like, I think I'm finna DIE. And it was like, what? What's going on? I was like, bro, I don't know. I can't breathe. So I hung up in both their faces. And well, I called my friend first. And then I told him, hey, man, I think something happened. And he's like, what? And I hung up. And then I called my brother. I was like, hey, man, I think I'm finna DIE. He was like, what? He was like, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. I'm in the truck. I'll call you back. I got to call 911. And I hung up in his face, too. Then I called 911. And I told them what was going on and where I was at. And they came. They sent out some paramedics to evaluate me and stuff. So the paramedics pulled up. I was on the side of the feeder off the highway, and they came to the truck. Well, I met them. I got out the truck because I was trying to breathe, and they took me in the ambulance, like the little truck or whatever, in the back part of it. And they, like I said, they evaluated me, asked me a bunch of questions, what was going on. And they kept telling me the whole time I was in there, like, man, you only 24, you know. Because I was telling them, I was like, I think I'm having a heart attack or something. Like, I can't, my chest beating fast, you know, it's hard for me to breathe. And they was like, man, you too young to have a heart attack. Like, it don't make sense. They was like, it's something else. And then they basically just told me, hey, you know what, you can go with us to the hospital, or you can drive there yourself. And for those of you that don't know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know that them hospital rides not cheap at all. I'm talking about not cheap. You might pay $5,000 to $10,000 just to ride in there. So I told them, you know what, I'm good. I'm talking about my medical, that whatever I was dealing with at the time, it went away, because I'm like, hey man, I am not trying to pay $5,000 to $10,000. So getting ready to close out with them, they basically just told me, hey man, we think it's anxiety, like you need to chill, relax. He was like, because they put the little sticky things on my chest, like throughout my body, chest, shoulders, back. And they told me, you know, my heart rate was fine, everything was good, but it was like, if you want to get checked out, we can run you to the hospital real quick. Basically just telling me it was anxiety and stuff. So I was like, all right, cool. So they unhooked me and they asked me what am I gonna do. So I'm just sitting there like, oh shit, what I'm gonna do. And I was like, you know what, I'll just drive. But they was trying to give me the ride. I'm like, y'all not finna finesse me into that hospital ride. You know, I ain't trying to pay no $5,000 to $10,000. I actually like my money, right? And it's sad that it got to be that way, because some people would rather choose money over health, and I was that person. Like, I'd rather choose money over health. Like, I'm just like, man, 10,000, oh, that's hefty. I don't want to come off that right now. So long story short, I ended up driving over there. I got checked in, you know, they did my blood work, blood pressure, all that, and I was waiting on the doctor. Doctor came in the room and basically told me everything was good. They gave me a fluid bag, and my level, they told me my CK levels was up, that's it. But they gave me a fluid bag, and they told me it was probably from stress, not sleeping, all that, right? And that, it was true. I wasn't sleeping, and I ain't gonna say I was stressed, but I was frustrated at the time. And what's crazy, y'all, whenever I was in the hospital that time, that was a sign. I really think it was a sign, like God was telling me, like, man, pull the plug from your job. Because when I was in there and I was on the hospital bed, I made a quarter of what I make a year in a month. I made a quarter of what I make in a year at the job in a month. I got that day, because one of my side hustles, I get paid monthly, and I seen it. I was like, holy shit. But what did I decide to do? I decided to go back to the job anyway. And after that time, y'all, I was kind of like paranoid of getting back in the truck, because I'm like, man, you know, I don't want that shit to happen again. When I tell y'all that was scary, it was scary. Like, I can't even really describe, like, words can't describe it. So from that time, you know, like Daffy Duck, like a Goofy, I went back to the job, and I continued driving for Quikrete, right? And in that process of me driving, it happened again in September. But this time in September, it was happening. So I remember vividly, like, I woke up, my normal time, woke up at 2, ran my 3 loads, and something, like, throughout the whole day, I'm like, man, something is not right. Like, I wasn't feeling well at all. I wasn't eating. I barely wanted to drink anything. And I just remember, like, driving and kind of like dozing off a little bit. So I'm like, you know what? When I get off, I'm gonna go home and take a nap. That's probably what I need, since I ain't been sleeping. In the process, I get off at like 6:30, and I'm like, ah, shit. I get to the yard, and one of my tires was flat on my car. So I was already feeling like shit. And then on top of that, I had to change a flat tire. So I remember talking to my girl at the time. I'm just telling her, like, hey, you know, it's gonna be a long day for me. I gotta change this flat. And I told her I was feeling bad. And she was just like, yeah, you know, go home and rest. You know, you never sleep. So that's what I did. I changed my tire. I went home. I showered. I tried to eat something, couldn't really eat. And I laid in bed. So when I was laying in bed, I'm just like, man, something is not right. Something is not right. I was like, I think if I go to sleep, I might not wake back up. And it was a terrifying feeling. So I was like, you know what? I was talking to her. I was like, I think I'm gonna just go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and I got checked in, evaluated, and they admitted me in the hospital. And they told me my CK levels was way above the level it was supposed to be at, or the levels it was supposed to be at. And they glad, like, I came in, because it could have been worse. So they got me in, they put me on a fluid bag. And if you ever stayed in the hospital or the ER or whatever, you know it's freezing cold in there. So I was literally in this thin ass nightgown. I had a fluid bag in my arm. They gave me like 3 or 4 different fluid bags. I'm just like, God damn, just one after another one. After one of them ran out, they put another one in me. And like, you can feel it. Like, I felt myself like getting better over time, just getting better. And you can taste it too. My mouth got salty, you know, from the bags or whatever. But going back to it, so they gave me the bags, and then I talked to one of the doctors. The doctor pulled me to the side. He said, hey, you know, you have rhabdomyolysis. And I'm like, what is rhabdomyolysis? And he gave me what it was, you know, muscle burnout. It's basically when your muscles burn out. And the reason why is because, remember I told y'all, I was working out after I got off work. And I was working 14, 15-hour days. So I get off from working, and then I'll go work out for about 2 hours. And I wasn't working out light. I was working out heavy. I'm talking about just trying to get ripped. I can even add in a video to show y'all, like, I was really seeing improvements while working a 14, 15-hour day job, and also on top of that, working on my side hustles. So I was literally killing myself, pushing myself over the limits. Don't get me wrong, I was making a lot of money, but I'm just like, fuck, man, my body is just telling me time to take it easy. Don't get me wrong, if I wasn't working a 15 hour day job, I think I still would be fine till this day. But with me continuing to work the 15 hours, plus the gym, plus the side hustles, 2 hours of sleep, it killed all of it, So, like I said, doctor told me I had rhabdomyolysis. He gave me a list of what it was, and he was like, basically, we're going to admit you in the hospital, and you're going to need to stay for a few days so we can watch your levels. And I was furious. I was enraged because I was working on my business while I was in the hospital. And I'm like, man, I am not trying to, because I'm not dumb. I'm like, I am not trying to stay at no hospital. I know y'all charging me a lot of money for everything. I didn't know what it was going to be exactly, but I remember from the first time I went in August, they had charged me $3,600 from the first visit, just for putting the fluid in my arm. But this time, they want me to stay in the hospital, and then on top of that, they gave me like 3 different fluid bags. I'm just like, oh no. So I ain't have a choice. I wasn't trying to argue with him. So he was like, hey, after he told me that, he's like, we're gonna get you in a room, and once we get you in a room, I'm gonna have 2 different nurses come in, and they're gonna check on you and give you food and all that. So I was like, all right, cool. So 30 minutes passed by. I was still in this room, freezing cold. Finally, one of the nurses come get me, put me in a room, give me like some warm blankets, because the hospital is super duper cold. And I remember texting Camilla the whole time, like, hey, I'm in the hospital, da 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 da. And she was asleep, because this was through the night. I woke up at like 12:30 in the morning saying, you know what, I'm just going to the hospital. So she was asleep. I was still in the hospital. When she woke up at 7, it was like 8 o'clock, she was texting me. She flew to the hospital where I was at and came and checked up on me, brought me some Starbucks, and, basically just asked how I was doing. And I was in there for about 3 more hours. I kept telling the nurses, I'm like, hey, can I leave? Can I leave? And they just kept telling me, not yet. We got to draw more blood, and we got to make sure your levels go down. And I'm just like, fuck. And I remember this one nurse vividly just kept poking me. She'll poke me because she was trying to get blood. I guess they go off the blood work as well. So she kept poking me. She'll poke me, and I don't know if y'all ever experienced this, but it's a horrible feeling. They poke you and it's nothing, and they be like, oh, that's a bad one. I'm gonna have to poke you again. Oh, that's another bad one. Give me your other arm. I'm like, damn, you poked me 3 times. My arm is hurting. Like, I don't want to do it no more. Anyway, so she poked me. Finally, the blood started flowing, and she was like, okay, this is a good one, good vein. And she poked me, got the blood work and whatever. She sent it off, and 3.5 hours, of being in there, she came back. It didn't take 3.5 hours. I'm just saying a total combined time. It took about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour for her to come back with the results on if I could leave or not. And they just kept asking me, her and this other nurse, rotating back and forward. They just kept asking me, hey, how you feeling? You good? I'm just like, yes, I want to go. I damn near was at the point where I was going to take out the IV myself and just leave, because I already knew. So I only stayed in the hospital for a few hours through the night. I guess you can say through the night, through the morning, and then that's when I left. And boy, when I tell you, I was so excited to leave. I was finna do a backflip walking out the hospital, because I already knew. My main thing was, y'all, and I know y'all probably might say something about this, but I wasn't even worried about my health. I was worried about like how much the bill was gonna be, because over my lifespan, I had some health issues in the past. Man, I'm telling you, I probably didn't pay like 15 grand, probably more than that, in hospital bills just for not being on insurance. But I was on insurance like when this happened recently, back in 2023, because it happened in August 2023 in September. And I was on insurance, but it was still a hefty amount. I had to pay $4,800 for everything, and I was just blessed to be able to take care of that, because to some people that's a lot of money and they can't afford that. So I paid it in full, and I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna take better care of myself. I'm not gonna take this shit for granted. So my first step was quitting my job, which y'all seen I done. Quit my job in February. It's currently April. My health been getting better. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I still ain't been sleeping a whole lot. I'm just focused on working and making money. I don't have an employer. I'm my own employer now, so I'm very strict on my time. And I work extra long hours. I got to make sure I'm reaching my day-to-day quotas on what I want to make per day, and that require a lot of attention and time. So I don't really sleep a whole lot. I probably say I still sleep about 5-6 hours, sometimes 4. If I feel like I ain't done enough, I'll wake up earlier than the day before and take care of whatever I need to make sure I'm reaching my goals and day to day, right? And like I said, I'm doing a little better. I ain't gonna say I'm totally fine. I still have rhabdo, and adding on to that, rhabdo just don't go away, y'all. It don't. It's and here's the thing about it. It's no solutions. Like, they can't give me medicine for this. It's what's the word? It's something that heal on its own, and the only way you can heal it is through resting and taking it easy. And I've been doing that. And I didn't know rhabdo was like a rhabdomyolysis. I'll call it rhabdo, just shorter for rhabdomyolysis. But rhabdo, I didn't know could take you out, because there was a lot of people that unfortunately passed away. I was just like, wow, taking this for granted. Like, I'm telling y'all, this not light. I'm serious about this. I'm miserable. Like, right now, even talking to y'all, like, sometimes I get gassed. Like, I'll just have to catch my breath because rhabdo, just over here. I can be eating out eating at a restaurant, working out, whatever, and I'll just out of nowhere, I'll just have to catch my breath because dealing with this, and I'm just waiting for it to go away. I do know I need to sleep. Like, earlier I was inside and I was researching some products or whatever, and I just got a wave of tiredness, just I got drowsy, my breathing started picking up. I'm just like, this is the time for me to take a nap. But I didn't do it. I came out here, I said, you know what, I got work to do. So I was like, let me film this video. I ain't filmed a video in over damn near a month. Basically a month, yeah. And I was like, I'm ashamed of myself. It's not because I'm slacking or anything. Trust me, I've been working on my side hustles for sure. This is, I don't look at this like I told y'all, yes, I love YouTube. Yes, I want to make money and stuff, but I'm not on here just trying to do that. I'm on here to give y'all the game and the knowledge and the stuff that I've been through, or the stuff that I'm currently dealing with, so y'all can avoid it. I'm not just money based. I'm actually trying to help the people and put people on game and stuff. So I don't want y'all to be like me and get rhabdomyolysis or rhabdo. I want y'all to avoid working hard. Do what you got to do. I already know everybody not born in the best situation, the best circumstances, but if you got to work hard physically for money, whether you're a truck driver, power line worker, oil field worker, construction worker, or welder, whatever it is that you do for money, that's hard labor. Make sure you take it easy, man. Make sure you take it easy. Don't kill yourself. Don't overwork yourself. At the end of the day, your company, your boss, your employer, they will replace you within a snap of a finger. You will be replaced just like that. They act like they care. They don't, man. Everybody in it just to make money. And you got to realize that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to influence people to just jump out here and work for themselves. You have to be cut from a different cloth to work for yourself. This shit is not easy. It's tough. It's not made for everybody. Everybody not meant to be a boss. It's okay if you're a worker. Just don't overwork yourself. Make sure you spend quality time with yourself. Make sure your health is on point. Make sure your mental is on point. Don't just go kill yourself weekly, 40, 50 hours, 70 hours at a job, and don't make time for yourself or your health. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters, is your health. And to add on to this, y'all, like the rhabdo, I didn't go over the full list. I'm finna close it off right now, but the full list of what I deal with on a day-to-day basis of having rhabdomyolysis is heavy breathing, getting tired quickly, gassed out quickly, like whether I'm working out or I'm doing something, outdoor activities. I can be working in my office at the chair, just working, and I all of a sudden just be dozing off. And my first reaction is to go get me a coffee or energy drink. And I'm telling y'all, don't do that. It makes it worse. It do. Trust me. And I also think that's another reason I got rhabdo, because it's I'm not allowing my body to sleep right, you know, the proper amount of sleep we're supposed to get, which is 8 to 9 hours. I'm only doing 2 to 3, and I'm using caffeine to keep me up. Caffeine is horrible. You know, it's horrible to the body, and I think over time you'll feel it, and in this case I'm feeling it. I'm feeling all of it. And still to this day, y'all, of currently having rhabdo, I will go make me a coffee. That's my first response. Like earlier I was at the desk working and I got a little drowsy, so I went to go make me a cup of coffee. And don't get me wrong, I only have 2. I'm only allowed to have 2 max per day. So I space it out though. Like obviously in the morning, if I wake up early, whether it's 6, 7 o'clock, I'll make me a cup of coffee. Sometimes I don't. I ain't gonna sit here and say it every time. It's just if I feel like I need it. But I'm only allowed to have 2. I don't have times on it. It's just whenever, you know. So whenever I feel it, I'll have it. It could be 1 in the morning, 1 at night, or 2 in the evening, and none at night, and none in the morning, right? So it's just, it varies. And for the energy drink, like the Red Bull and stuff like that, now I do 1 every week. I don't go crazy and have 3 or 4 per week. Now I'm just to 1, and I'm trying to like cut it all out. But I do outdoor activities. Like I said, I like to swim, I run, and I'm thinking about adding pickleball or tennis in there, you know, just to keep up with my body, you know, making sure I'm in the best shape possible. We don't really know we're in shape until we do a lot of running, and I just found that out a few weeks ago. Like, hey, I ain't in the best shape like I thought I was. I am, like, don't get me wrong, I'm nice physique, nice shape, but I'm talking about actually like stamina wise, like it's horrible, you know. I'm over here and I felt like I shouldn't be like that. Also probably rhabdo play a role in that, but it is what it is. But those are signs, y'all. Heavy breathing, you get tired fast, you feel like, you know, you like can't do nothing. Like I literally just be sitting there like is this ever gonna go away? And the sad part is it's no solution. It goes away on its own. They can't give you no type of medicine or nothing. Unless you want to go to the hospital and pay $3,000 for a fluid bag, go ahead. But I'm good. I'd just rather just take it easy and rest. I'm not saying I still kill myself, but I still do push myself. I'm not going to let rhabdo define me and allow me to do, you know, allow me to limit myself, basically. No, absolutely not. Not with TJackk. I've been working hard on my side hustles. And yeah, and I always say it in these videos, but I need to bring y'all a part of more of what I do on a day-to-day basis. If y'all want that, just comment below. I just don't want to do it to bore y'all. I'm more of just like an information channel. You know, basically I tell y'all what I done been through or what I'm currently dealing with so y'all can avoid it. So maybe I should just make it a day-to-day thing and just post. Talk to y'all about habits, discipline, talk to y'all about the motivation, talk to y'all about the work industry, talk to y'all about everything, you know, because at the end of the day, I love helping other people get a thrill out of it, so I might just do it anyway. But with that being said, I'm gonna end this video, y'all. If y'all have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. Also, hit me on Instagram. I added in this video. It's real TJackk on Instagram. Hit me in a DM or send me a DM and I'll respond back. Any questions, like I said, y'all got it. But with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. I'll catch y'all next video. I'm out.